welcome back to our TBI Licensee Podcast show today. I'm Todd Markey, as you guys may know. I'm the director of Social Life Network. Unfortunately, our CEO, Ken Tapp, could not be with us today as he's quite busy and taking care of some really important behind-the-scenes activity. But I do have Cody Hamlin and James Rose now with me, a couple new employees on the staff, and as you guys have heard, we've been introducing some of these new individuals that we've brought on board. Video and film editors, social media and marketing specialists, and journalists and reporters. We're going to get into a lot more of meeting these folks and learning about what they do, and today will be another window to meet a few new folks. So today we're going to be talking about racing and cycling, and specifically cyclefans.com and racescene.com. Cody, we were just talking a few minutes ago, and we often talk about fitness and exercise. I know it's a big part of your life, as it's a big part of mine. And, on top of being somewhat of a gym rat and always in there lifting weights, I know that a big part of how you get your cardio, and really something that you've got a passion and interest for, is cycling. With the Tour de France coming up this weekend, you must be getting pretty excited, huh?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, Todd. The statistics you showed me earlier, as we discussed, really opened my eyes to see how big the industry really is. As a video producer here at Social Life, I know there's many ways to get into health and fitness, and one of mine just happens to be bike riding, as my easiest form of cardio. Just being able to be involved online using CycleFans allows me to share positive feedback with other groups.
Yeah, and it's such a strong group, community-oriented sport, right? I know that before COVID-19 pandemic, living in LA, the growing popularity and really, fever pitch had reached an all-time high for cycling groups like Soul Cycle or Beat Bike. There's just such a positive energy around that, too. Everyone is literally rowing in the same direction, right?
Yeah.
And they're all working towards the same goal of being in better shape and being fit. And I just think that it's a really powerful kind of movement.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, having the platform CycleFans, it allows me to know and learn things that I would not have discovered beforehand. It's very convenient. And as you mentioned with the Tour de France coming around, with using this platform, it's something that I know I can watch on it. I can learn it and catch up on the highlights per my own availability. Right. I can talk to other people as we're watching through and kind of look at our favorite racers and just see what's going on. But what I found the most interesting about the CycleFans is that it's not only for bike enthusiasts, but it's built for teams, charity event managers, coaches, commuters, and just every type of cycling, biking under the sun. So, I mean, for me, it was just a really perfect and positive platform that I could use into cycling to get into new things and just keep everything fresh.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And it just goes back to the positivity and the environment around. I know that within the cycling community, charity and giving back, it's a really big part of that industry, which is so important. What you may not know is that there's over 1 billion bicycles worldwide. Those statistics were from last year, and I bet you it's grown considerably. 47.8 million cyclists in the U.S. alone, and we know this is even a bigger sport internationally. In addition, the estimated U.S. bicycle market is $81 billion annually, and it generates 770,000 jobs and over $10 billion in tax revenue. Cycling's good for the economy, right? I think that's the idea that we're getting here. It's good for the environment, and it also improves mental and physical health.
Oh, of course.
Thanks for sharing that, Todd. I just want to introduce myself to all of you real quick. I'm James Rose now. I'm one of the new video editors and producers here with Social Life Network, and I'm excited to bring you guys some amazing content. I didn't even know that the cycling industry was that big until Todd shared these statistics with me. But what I did know is that the motorsports industry is among the most popular and fastest growing spectator sports in the United States. I grew up in Indianapolis, and when the Indy 500 came around, you had better get those racing flags flying. I remember being in the 4th grade, and I had the opportunity to go to some of these qualifying races. And for being so young, I have this clear memory of just sitting down with a bucket of fries, and I'd watch these cars zoom by, and there's just no word that describes the feeling of hearing these cars, the engines purr as they just come on by you. It's exhilarating. I absolutely loved going. I was also amazed to see how many people show up just to watch racers qualify. It's not the full race, it's just qualifications, but it's amazing to see the commitment that these people have.
Yeah, James, I can only imagine the energy and enthusiasm inside that stadium. My hair is literally standing up on my arms just listening to you talk about this. I'm a pretty big F1 racing fan in NASCAR as well, and actually, truth be told, I've pretty recently gotten into a little bit of dirt biking. Ken and I, that's for another podcast. But going back, the international audience online and the TV spectators for this industry is estimated to be 433 million. So you can understand why Racing Motorsports Network is expected to go so far.
Todd, I think with that kind of audience being so big and so global, I imagine the marketing for that must be insane. You
right.
know? I mean, we all know how basic marketing is, but with NASCAR, Formula One, I mean, they've created a whole new norm, and they've got down to a perfect science where they definitely know how to reach out and grow and at this global level. It's just insane to me.
Yeah, I think NASCAR, in doubt, has really set the standard for sports industries in this country. We've seen other sports starting to go that direction of creating some of the awareness for some of these brands and sponsors, something that they've really perfected. And it's something that ultimately we hope that we can provide some of that same marketing exposure on our networks to help with the revenue growth eventually. And we helped this racing team get this site launched just this past weekend. So, no pun intended, we're literally off to the races here, right? With just a few more sections to add to the network and still a little bit more to go before we get live by the end of the month. But we're really excited for this, and we're really excited to provide this content and these network for these enthusiasts. So with that being said, I think that we're going to wrap up for today. We appreciate everyone tuning in and listening. And we will be back soon for the continuation of our summer series TBI licensing podcast show. And until then, have a great day, everyone.